Singer-songwriter George Ducas just released his first independent album, 4340, which is his first full-length project since George Ducas and Where I Stand on Capitol Records in the mid-1990s. Fans might very well remember his top 20 hit, Lipstick Promises. The new 4340 includes thoughtful ballads, playful uptempos, and honky-tonk must-haves in the 12 tracks. George has continued writing with many of Nashville's biggest songwriters, and this project could be his biggest yet. Lynn caught up with George at a celebration for the album release.
We are here with Mr. George Ducas, getting ready for a big album release party. How are you?
I'm good. We're excited.
Yeah, I bet. The people are like packing in. Now, tell us a little bit about what today is all about. I know you've got this wonderful album that you've been working on.
Yep, I do. And really today is just about celebrating the finishing of it and the beginning of the marketing of it. It's been a while since I was on Capitol Records and had a couple records out back in the mid to late 90s, and a string of good little run of some Billboard hits there, and then I kind of became a songwriter for several years here and have written a lot of songs for other folks. It's a blessing anytime somebody else is anytime you're fortunate enough to have someone else record one of your tunes, and through the process of doing that, just been working on making a record for the last couple of years, and it's finally culminating with this CD release celebration.
Today we're going to get to hear it. So talk a little bit about the album and what's on it. I know obviously as a big hit songwriter, like you said, you've had cuts, and that's sort of what you've been doing, and which isn't bad, by the way. You get to stay home and go to the mailbox and check
Oh, trust me, it's way easier. I think I'm halfway crazy for even wanting to do this again, but it all started a couple years back. For about almost a decade there, I turned into but like a songwriter. I wrote songs for Garth Brooks, and George Jones did a duet of a song I wrote called Beer Run.
How exciting. I have to interrupt there, right?
Crazy.
To have George Jones cut one of your songs, I mean, what does that feel like? When you heard he was going to record it, were you like, wow?
I thought they were joking. I did. I really did. I mean, and he's such an idol of everyone in this town, and really everyone that's a country music fan. There's no one else. They broke the mold when they made George Jones. I mean, but it's a song about drinking beer, and how many country songs are there about drinking beer? So I thought at the end of writing that song that day, I was like, well, that's probably a wasted day. Nobody's going to record that, But I got a call a couple weeks later from my publisher saying, hey, George, man, somebody wants to record that song about drinking beer. I was like, you're kidding me? And they said, no. I said, who? And they said, Garth Brooks. And I said, no way. And of course, Garth was a label mate when I was on Capitol, so I knew him a little bit. I was on his label, as I like to say, and then they told me it was going to be a duet with George Jones, and it was going on both their records. So that's a great day in the life of a Nashville songwriter. And but it's been a really nice run there. I just missed playing, and about 2 or 3 years back, I'm from Texas, so about 2 or 3 years back, my then manager was like, man, why don't you start touring back in Texas and put a little record together and start doing that? And so it all started with that, and now it's grown to this, and it's a really cool thing where we've got a little bit more of a national focus now, and I'm never going to say goodbye to Texas. I mean, I'm going back there tomorrow to play in Lubbock, and then again in Houston the next night, and so that's always going to be a major part of what I do. It's home, but it's great to live in both worlds, to be able to write songs for other folks and still record my own music.
Right here, right now, kicking it in a cowtown, instead of these white lines, road signs.
Let's talk about the record. Talk about one of your favorite songs. Obviously, the single right now.
Well, the one we're going, Cowtown was a song that was released nationally just for a little bit, but and it was a hit down in Texas. It was a top 10 hit on the Texas charts. We're going to come with another single nationally here real soon. And still kind of in the decision-making process. I don't even know if I should
I heard it was White Lines and...
It's probably going to be White Lines and Road Signs. That's another one that's, right now, it just got released down in Texas. It's on the charts down there and doing really well. So we may probably, in all likelihood, going to make that the next single nationally.
And you wrote that with?
I wrote that with John Henderson, a great writer, also from Texas, happens to be, but we met here in Nashville and just write a lot together. And we both have a lot of similarities in our lives. We both have, have family, have kids. We just a great hang. I write best with guys that I hang really well with.
If I still had your number, that's what I'd say.
We still have lots more ahead on this week's show. Make sure you stay tuned to Inside Music Row for what's coming up next. We'll follow up with a Tallahassee-based artist signed to a new label here in town. We'll be right back.